I moved to a new country thinking that that would help me lock in somehow. And honestly, the opposite happened for the first week or so. 2 weeks to be exact since I arrived here. For those that don't know, and I guess most of you guys, I am from Brazil. I left Brazil to do uni in the Netherlands. I'm currently in Rotterdam. It's a very modern city, has everything. It's big, but not too big. So that was why I decided to come here because the university was good, yet I had enough free time to try to do my own thing, which I'm going to start eventually. I didn't know anyone, so I would be able to focus on myself, a gym, my projects, whatever. And I could also like lock in ways that I was not able to in Brazil. For example, my parents wouldn't allow me to weigh my food. Now I can. And that was what I was thinking would happen. But my first week of college, the social pressure was insane. And I just partied like every day. Woke up, went to bed at 6 a.m., woke up at 1 p.m. Every single day I ate like way less than I usually eat. I did not work out at all. And I let myself go for like a week and a half. There's still parties going on. Like, I'm currently in my dorm here in the Netherlands. I can literally hear people like talking shit upstairs. Shit, I feel so small, by the way. I feel like so shit. But today is the first day that I'm. Now it's like 11, 12 p.m. It's the first time that I'm like actually gonna go to bed like before 1 a.m., which is awesome. But I need to get back. I just need to get back. That's the only way of saying it, to be honest. I feel like I let myself go way too much. I mean, it's just a week. It's just a week and a half. True. But if I don't get back, then I'm fucked. And I thought it would be easier for me to lock in. At least in those first few days, I made like this choice, which I thought was completely intentional, to just, okay, I'm gonna socialize and try to make friends, and then I'll lock in after the first week of university. Here it's called Eureka Week because of the university. But yeah, I made like more friends than I could ever imagine. I also had some like issues with girls here. Like not girls, like just one. I felt like betrayed in some way, but we didn't have anything serious, so like she has the right to do whatever she wants. But that made me remind of why what am I here for? And honestly, I just gotta get back into like being intentional with what I do, who I date, who I interact with. I didn't, no offense to everybody, but like I didn't come here to another country just to make friends. I didn't move to another city in the middle of nowhere to make friends. I have a lot of friends in Brazil already. I have a lot of loving, good friends. I'm not here for that, and I'm not in a phase in a position where like I'm I'm looking for like a serious relationship. But I also feel like it's pointless to have a relationship that is not serious. So I feel like I'll just like ignore completely like relationships. Not in a way of like being a dickhead to anyone, of course not. I'll try my best as I always did to be polite, be respectful, be loving and caring, but I'm in a position that I need to be extremely, extremely selective with who I interact with and who I let into my world. So a lot of things need to happen for me to get back on track. And this video is about my first week, my first 2 or 3 weeks in the Netherlands. Had a lot of fun. I already feel like home here. I sleep well here. The food here is great. The only thing here is that the water is from the sink, and that's like I'm a little bit skeptical about that, so I had to buy like a filter for the water, for example. But other than that, my room is extremely cozy. I've already checked my courses and lectures that I'm gonna take, and it's like not many, which give me a lot of free time to join student associations, work, start my like on my business or something. I honestly don't know what I'm going to start as a business, but I feel like I have a lot of things to do and not a lot of people to impress. That's the honest reality. I feel like I've cared too much about relationships since the first week. Maybe you should, but by doing that and going to parties, I know when to focus, I know when to have fun, and I let myself have way too much fun. And now those 2 weeks were the weeks where people build an impression about you. So like you only have a chance to give a good first impression. That's true. But even though I left like a positive impression to mostly everyone I've interacted with, I gave them the impression that I'm like a party boy, that I'm a guy that likes to party a lot. And that's just because I let myself go for this first weeks. But now everybody's like, wait, aren't you the party boy? Why you don't want to come? Why don't you come? Please come. I want to see you dancing. I want to dance with you, whatever. And like the social pressure now is insane because of that image that I built of myself, which needs to end. And another thing that I did, which was not a mistake by any means, but also needs to change, is that I, instead of making friends based on commonalities and things that I like, I made friends. Some of them were like that, but some were just out of convenience. And what I mean by that is like I'm like mostly hanging out with Brazilians here. Like I have a lot of Brazilian friends, and I feel like even though that's good, they're nice, they're fun. Most of them, I'm not gonna say all, but most, they don't have the same ambition as I do. They do not treat their health as seriously as I treat my health. And I feel like maybe that's not the right choice for me, because they're Brazilians. Like for example, next year I'll have to rent an apartment with someone. I don't feel like renting an apartment with Brazilian may is going to be necessarily the right choice just because they're Brazilians. Because we are so different in our priorities, for example. So yeah, and honestly, so far, all the people that I've met, they just care about parties. A lot of people smoke, a lot of people drink, and that's like just depressing. Like, you meet a new girl, oh, she's sweet, she's beautiful, and then you see her with a fucking cigarette, all this shit. Then she vapes, then she drinks, and then you see her with another man in a party after just like being with you. That's fucking boring. By the way, my Brazilian friends are calling me here. Probably to invite me to a party. Wait a moment. Let me see. Oi, eu vou dormir, filho. Já tô na cama. Eu tô loquinho já, pai. Já. Você consegue entrar aqui pela Carol? Consegue, né? Ah, então beleza. Mas o rooftop tá bom. Tá, já. Beleza. Boa noite, pai. Yeah, they will invite me to a party right now. I just said I'm going to bed right now. So yeah, as I've said, social pressure is kind of insane. It's very easy to let yourself go if you don't have the self control and self respect. I did that and I feel like shit. But now enough of things going wrong. Let's talk about things going right because that's what matters. Even though I lost like 4 kilos, I'm getting back into my diet, getting back into sleeping early, getting back into working out properly, and I feel like it's only up from here if I have self control and the ability to say no to temptations. That's the most important skill. Yeah, I think I talked way too much. There are a lot of things going on, a lot of LARPing to be made, a lot of cool pictures to share. Will see you guys soon. Hopefully, more jacked, more wise, more polite, with more money. Those few weeks were kind of crazy. That's why I didn't record anything. But yeah, I went to a new place thinking I would lock in, but it's taking way more self control than I expected. But to be fair, for last point, I feel that the social pressure is easier to handle here because nobody knows me for like the longest time. Like when I'm with my day ones, I feel like I need, I owe them something. They were with me like at my lowest. They support me and everything. People here just met me like a week ago or so I don't give that actual of a shit. I just can say no and focus on what matters to me. So yeah, see you guys later. Hope you guys are doing well. Wish you all the best. Peace.